Is someone missing now? No. Zaki with us? Bengo Mohammed, Magnus, Asum? Yeah?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here as well.
Bengu, do you want to resume your presentation? Or have you finished everything? You haven't, have you?
Yeah, I can. I had a problem with running the create team page expansion. So I still have that problem. I think Zaki was about to help on that issue.
Zaki?
Yeah, I just wanted you to send me the branch so I could look at it myself.
Okay, yeah, I will send it to you. Sorry, didn't hear that part. Don't have anything more to share, I guess, until so.
Okay, and Zaki, you will follow from the PR? From the review on the PR, or what's the plan?
What do you mean?
Bengu had a problem with the pages, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should we demo it again and try to find it?
Or yeah, I'll have a look at it on my computer and then I'll just comment on her PR.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very well. So Priyanka, yeah, you want to grab it? Remember? Okay, so I don't have to say it.
Can you check
Hello?
people online if they hear you?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear.
Good. So this was my this was my endpoint, and I will show you it by running it in Swagger
I
here.
want to hear the task. I don't know what's the
Oh
task.
yeah, I explained it. Yeah, so my task was to list the possible answer of a specific question. So if some question is asked, so my endpoint will show possible answers so that they can pick one answer out of those. So I did one endpoint here, and I will show you it by running on Swagger. Yeah, this is my answer choices ID, and I put some detail here, get answers choices for given questions by ID. So here I will open it and try it out, and I will insert 1. So question number 1 is asked, and now it will show 4 answer choices for the answers. And now in the next step, some other must be doing on that, and they can select one of the given answer. So this is my endpoint.
Oh. So you have it already merged, or? Is it merged?
No, it is not merged.
What's going on with it?
What's the problem?
Show us some of your comments.
Yes.
Okay, you have templates.
Yes, I will resolve it. And Niels asked me to change the name of my endpoint. So I did that. It was just the name which I need to change. And then I did that. I will resolve my conflicts.
Yeah, you can do it.
Are we going right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
please be aware
Yes.
that Lucha is also resolving conflicts. If we merge her, you will have conflicts anyway.
Okay.
So,
Are you
I would
done?
like to merge both of yours.
Okay. Are you done with merging yours?
What are we talking about?
Endpoints.
Have you
Endpoints.
resolved the conflicts in your endpoint? Did you try to resolve it?
No, not yet, because I was working on foreign keys. Sorry.
Yeah, so he's asking us to do it.
So
now.
I will go first because I have opened my.
But I need to make an equal statement filter with the new. I need to make.
Perfect. Focus on that part. Swati, please help her because you've done it before. So
Yeah.
Just a quick comment. Make sure to resolve your conflicts on locally and VS Code rather than doing it in GitHub, because if you do it in GitHub, there's like the opportunity for prettier errors to sneak in and all the other stuff where we don't get everything tested. So if you do it locally, you will make sure that everything will be tested.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
okay. And now you're not presenting. So what do you do?
Oh, I thought I will resolve it and.
No, that's after the
Okay. Okay. Sorry. My bad. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Of
so
course.
you're not presenting. What do you do?
Yeah. I will stop sharing and mute.
Good. Sorry to treat you a little bit like.
Okay. Very well. Priyanka is going to solve the conflicts. And Magnus, do you want to show us some of your work? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but not really, because it was the back end and it's already merged.
Yeah.
Do you want to see that?
We can see that, and you can also show us the share game page. How is that going?
Yes, I am starting with that. And I also had some trouble connect. It was related with, it looked like Bangoose, but I think I know how to fix it. I haven't looked into that. Should I share my screen?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Mm.
Then we can see you. Is it? You're the last one? No.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, so what should I expect here? I was just trying to figure that out.
No.
I have the
This is the page. Can you show us the task on the issues?
mm,
Yeah, it's wrong repository.
yes, so this is what I am supposed to create.
Yes.
But,
So what
but
do you have there in terms of components?
I have the QR code
Yes.
and button to go back and this code. So the first thing is that I'm trying to see how I can see what I am doing here and how I can actually see it in the browser. And I open the browser. This is what I get. So it's like I was trying to figure out how was the connection with the browser. I think it's what Bangu was asking as well. Yeah.
Well,
So if I type home, this is what I get. So whatever I'm putting here, like I see here that there's a taste component. So is this how the form is supposed to be? Is this how we are going to? Is this how we're going to? We're supposed to do it with a taste.
What is your task called?
Okay, this is my task.
The test file is not mandatory. We haven't been teaching so much about testing.
No,
So it's just there as an example.
Yeah. And
Okay, so how can I actually see what I am doing here?
Okay.
Because
back to the issue, because you still have information there that is relevant for your task. First, try to show us. You're only seeing half of what I wrote on the. Yeah, you have try to minimize it a little bit. To
minimize which one?
Zoom out. Zoom out on the browser so we can see the whole picture and the text. So you can actually look. Well, we can do the scroll, but it's easier if you.
But there wasn't much under the picture, was there?
No, but you can't see the picture and the text on the top, and I'm trying to.
Okay. Yeah, just do Control minus, then you zoom out in the browser. Or Command minus. No, you're not on a Mac. Control minus. Exactly.
Okay, that's perfect because now you can see everything and we can read what you actually have to do. You have to build this page, right? This is the share page. So when you want to share a game, I want to be able to see the QR code. You see the QR code on the page, right?
Yes.
But I also want the opportunity to go back to the game itself. It actually should say the QR code and the code. But it doesn't. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So should I be using React routes to make the going back possible and stuff, or
yes,
is it just okay?
Yes, but you also have to show the components. That's the first part. If you look at Priyanka's page is not linking to anything, but she's showing the components on the page. So that's the first thing. Okay.
So the question is, how do I get this? Like I am making this locally, and how do I get this? How do I see this? Because I think Priyanka did it as a test component, and that's like.
No, it's nothing to do with the test. Okay. The test file is not being run unless you run the script to test. So the test files will just like throw a lot of data into your components and then see if the components will break or they will be all right. So that's completely parallel to actually running the application. It's nothing to do with that.
Okay, so should I?
So what you did, what you did was she's probably been setting up routing. I haven't looked at it myself, but that's how we do it. So if you go, I can't even remember the folder structure, but I think there's a routing file, or maybe it's just like in the app.js. Can't remember. In your files in here. We definitely need to be on the client, and yeah. Well,
I think that you can add your component to apps.js and
now you're on the server.
So where should I be?
In the client?
In the client, or
and then try to scroll down. Yeah, stop. Yeah, here you have the router.
Okay.
So you can see here what it tells you is if you go to the exact path of / then it's showing you the home component.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to add more routes in here. So you need to add a route to the what is this one supposed to be called, Daniel? The URL for this one?
Share game page.
Create game.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you make a similar route to create game, and then you insert your component. But actually, you probably can't insert the component that has been created directly. You probably want to insert a container component that then works as a page, because this page will probably have some state in it, whereas the component that you're using don't have any state. So you probably need to make a new component in between those two.
Okay, great. Yes. I guess I'll do that.
Okay. Generally, all of your pages, so to speak, will generally be containers.
Okay. So we will put everything in the containers folder.
Well, you will have the page in the container folder, but the page will reference components from the components folder.
Okay, yeah.
So we have separation between the smart components and the dumb components.
Okay, yes. Yeah, it's
Yeah, so we...
very clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Should I stop sharing now? Yes.
Don't you want to show us your what is it that was already merged?
The back end?
Yeah, the endpoint. Please.
Okay.
Where's your PR failing? Where's your PR failing?
Oh, that's what we are about. We are working one by
So I was supposed to create a back end to get all the questions of the current game. And that is... So it currently shows an empty array because I have nothing in the seeds file now, but I had pasted it with some dummy seed files. Yeah.
Exercise to keep your questions, and then because if you keep interrupting, I lose. The person loses. Magnus.
Yes.
Something about the current game. How do you validate if it's the current game?
If the ID and the questions ID, if the questions ID and the foreign key.
What's the ID?
No. Yeah. Yes, it's with the if. Let me go back and see the code. If the question ID is connected with the foreign key, let me see.
But that makes sense what you're saying, but I can't see that on Swagger. I see a parameters, but I couldn't see you typing a parameter.
Are you supposed to see the parameter in Swagger? Are we supposed to see that?
Yeah.
Try to scroll up a little bit.
Okay.
A little more.
See that?
Yeah, you have no parameters in here. Yeah, so you need to set up Swagger so you can pass in a parameter and tell it which one you want to see questions for. You can see the one. Have a look at the one above versus modules, and then it says ID and curly braces. That's because you can type in the ID of the module that you want to. Yeah, actually, you can just like try to say the get one with the ID.
Yeah, but the thing is, I just want to see all the questions of a current game instance.
Yeah,
So,
but you need to tell it which game instance you're dealing with.
We'll have some games, so we need to know which game. Makes sense?
But that's actually kind of interesting because, I mean, would we ever need to see all questions in the entire application? Or would we only need to see them grouped by game instances?
Well, yeah, that's a tricky question because that entails the game logic, right? And I decided to make it easier in the beginning. And
my answer to the question is I don't think we will ever need to see all of them. I think it's fine to group it by game because it has a little bit of importance in terms of like the URL structure. So if you try to go back to Swagger.
Zaki, but let me interrupt you. How are you gonna get the questions for one map to start one game if you can't retrieve it per game? You will retrieve them all and then filter on the front end.
Well, you don't. No. You're retrieving questions per game, right?
No, I'm retrieving yes, questions per game.
Yeah. And I don't think we will ever need to globally get all questions in the entire application.
Oh yeah, no.
I think that's not relevant for us, because if we were needing to retrieve all questions in the application, then it would probably be something like questions, and that would just like give you all questions in the entire application. Questions/ID, that would give you question with a given ID. But yeah, now I'm actually changing my mind as I'm saying this. Okay, I think the URL structure for this one actually needs to be questions/game and then the ID of the game.
Okay.
Just to get the right URL structure in terms of how you make the REST API.
Okay.
And I don't know if that means questions/game instance maybe, or just game. I'm not sure. That depends on how the URL is for game instances.
Okay.
But you definitely need to have the ID in there somewhere, and the ID is not the ID of the question. The ID is the ID of the game.
Okay.
If you want to, you can make an endpoint for getting the question by ID as well, but I don't really think we would need that. So yeah.
So
Maybe
what should I be
we'll-
doing
I'm
now?
not sure.
Then? What should I change if I don't want to get the questions by ID?
I just wanted to change the route for this API endpoint. So you include question/game instance / and then the ID on the end of that one. And that ID should be driven by the game instance.
Okay.
What was your issue? Because then I can just comment it on your issue. Provide the details there. 134? Okay.
No, this is the...
Oh, that's not the one. Okay.
It's 87.
87. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just write it in there and let me know if there's something that's not clear.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. But that's good that we've reviewed yours. Yeah. Okay. And now we have Amir. Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
sounds good.
Yes. Cool. Okay. The task, I have this task. It's endpoint to retrieve the next question once the previous is answered correctly. So here it is, create an endpoint using Node.js Next to retrieve the next question once the previous question is answered correctly. Consider a parameter for this last part. So you have to use select statement to retrieve the next question based on the ID of the previous and the fact that it was answered correctly. I couldn't do it, but I was trying something like this. So here I need to take the actual answer. There is foreign key for the question and foreign key for the answer. When the foreign key for the answer ID dot answer correct is true, so I have to get the next question based on the actual answer. And the next question, let's assume this question ID it's number 1. So I wanted to show the question with the next ID. Let's say it's ID 2. Does it make sense till now? Zaki?
Is your volume up?
Yeah.
I mean, there could be a complication here because I don't think you can trust that question number 2 also belongs to the same game instance. So that's basically the same as or like related to what we just discussed with Nicholas. So essentially you need to so her endpoint is already getting all of the questions for a given game. Yeah, Daniel?
No, he's not here, Daniel.
Okay, I thought it was him speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure how to do this. I'm thinking.
I was stuck. I was just trying to figure out how to solve this, but I couldn't find the way. But I was doing something like this.
Yeah.
I make this. Get next question. It gives response. Next question from the TV questions. Here I'm making join to actual answer that the user have gave. With the actual answer foreign key question ID equal question.id. So here I'm taking the question that is being the user used.
Yeah.
And after that I make a new join also for the answer choice. Answer choice.id equal actual answer foreign key answer ID. Then I select question.question where answer choice answer correct equal result. It's here. I give it parameter. When it's a true, it gives me the answer. The question. Sorry. When it's false, it will not.
Can I just see the data model again?
The data model or diagram?
The data model. I mean the diagram.
Yes.
The TV diagram.
Where is it? Is it here?
Yeah. Well, that's just a screenshot. It would be nice to see it all.
Okay. Yeah. So where was it? No, where was it?
Just if you just type it again, you can also fill it because you've been on that page before.
Or you can.
I send
number 3.
I send the link for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will have that's the task. That's what
Yeah. So questions are grouped actually by game factories, right? And game factories are then so yeah.
Sorry, wait a little bit. I can't just stop all the time because I'm following it.
It's
like I'm in a meeting with a close call.
I mean, here I was just, and also we have to. So, how many tables should we join in this case?
Yeah, I don't think. I think actually what you need is to kind of start from what Megdis is supposed to build, and maybe it's actually the same endpoint that we need, and then. So if you imagine that her endpoint is working,
yeah,
then you fetch all questions for a given game.
Yes.
Maybe we should just have those questions in the state of the application. So those questions are in the front end.
Okay.
And then we can keep track of the progress of each question in the front end. But the thing is, I still don't want to have or prefer not to have all the questions and the answers on the front end. And answer choices are
In the database.
Separate table there, and what is where? How do we know which one is correct? That's like a boolean there and answer choices.
Yes, answer correct.
Yeah.
This is here from here. Answer correct. And I made this just a small test. If I show you here in Swagger, I built this on Swagger. Next question, I just give it here ID. It's not the ID here. I mean it's the result. Correct answer. If it's one, that's true. If it's zero, it's null.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. So for a given ID, this endpoint will give you the answer whether it's correct or what. No.
Yes. Here I made the small example about the actual answer. I put the data for 2 questions only.
Yeah.
Is right and the other is wrong.
Okay.
It's answer. And here, if I type 1, that's mean give me. If I show you in the Visual Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, answer choice correct. Equal result. This is here the params I entered.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think this is part of what we need. We need to have an endpoint where we can say we have this question right here, and we're giving it this answer. Is this correct? Then the backend has to return that and say, hey, that's right, this is wrong, or whatever, right?
Yes.
And for the other part, for actually like getting the questions, I think you need to use make this endpoint for that one. So I think that's not part of your job. But I'm not really sure about the sequencing because what's the order of the questions here? I think there's not a Daniel. Sequencing on questions. So say you are actually. So a game instance, is that the entire treasure hunt, or is it just like one checkpoint? The questions for that checkpoint.
Which one you mean? Game instance?
Yeah.
The game's instance is just we use the foreign key in the actual answer. From the game instance.
Or do we only have one question per checkpoint?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So after Daniel, do you have any kind of like sequencing in terms of like whenever you do a checkpoint and you answer the question there, how do you know which one you're going to next time?
I was.
That's the Amir's PR, right? To retrieve the following question.
Yeah, but what's Daniel? I'm asking about the game logic here. How do you know which is the next one we're going to?
ID.
By ID, so it's always the same order. Because I had like some stuff in the document we wrote where we're talking about like avoiding other groups and stuff like that. Right?
I know, but that's that.
Yeah, but right now we're just going sequentially by ID.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so but in that case, this is fine because I thought the questions were
randomly, right?
Yeah, that were random order.
It would be fun, and we can kind of explain the other logic that we thought.
Okay, but this also kind of okay. So I just needed to figure out like the exactly what a game instance is. So it's actually a game instance is actually equivalent to a checkpoint. That's like whenever you go to a stop and you have to like answer a question, right?
No, a game instance is an instance of a game. Like you have Matador, right?
Yeah.
If you start to play Matador, that's one game instance. When you stop,
okay, so it's the entire treasure hunt.
It's the game itself being played. You can't play the game factory. The game factory is just a template, and the game instance.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so we have so questions then. Where okay, the question I see they have latitude and longitude. Okay, so a question is also a checkpoint then.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, because what I was suggesting before was that we kind of like kept the state of the questions on the client, but that was like thinking that you had multiple questions for a stop, but we don't. No. So I think it's important that we update the state on the backends whenever you've done a question.
What do you mean? But that will be made per user, per player. Because
exactly.
Yeah, and you have a table for that. Can you show us? That's the actual lenses. Zoom in. Okay, the actual lenses are so each game instance.
Mm-hmm.
What I.
Okay, so the actual answer is what the user answered on this question.
No, that's not. I don't know how you have this.
Yeah, I just.
You just.
Yeah, I just open it.
You opened it from a previous day, guys.
So an old one.
Repository. There's a link. If you click on the link of the README file, you will open the DB diagrams that is the correct.
Yeah.
You probably open an old link.
Yeah, sorry, it was even me who told him to, but yeah.
That's fine. I have to say it out loud.
Yeah, it's important.
Yes, it's 85C. Okay. And maybe we're going to find a new bug because maybe this is not. Okay. No, the game user is here. You see this game user? Can you find it on your screen?
Yeah, it's to the left, right?
Yeah. So this is per user.
Yeah.
So you're keeping a track of the actual answers.
Mm.
And if it's and then you can see because there's a connection to answer choices.
Yeah.
If it's the correct or not.
Okay. So how would you find the next question that we're supposed to go to?
So in this case, it depends on the fact that I get it from the actual answer and the foreign key question ID. So let's assume the foreign key question ID in the actual answer for the question 3. So the next question should be the next ID. It's ID 4.
Well, actual answers only get filled out when you actually do it, right? So it should be the next ID of the question or what?
Next ID of the foreign key question ID. You give it.
Okay, so you take the foreign key question ID. That's like the current question you have right now.
Exactly. It's
yeah, and then the next question.
Yes. So and here
how do you know that question is associated with the same game instance?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. You have to filter by that.
No.
But you do have the game ID down in questions. So you have to filter by that.
Where?
FK game ID under questions.
On the question game ID, yes.
Mm.
Oh my God! How many joined? So I need in this case. So I need.
But I don't see why you actually need to worry about the actual answers. If you're doing this from lowest ID to highest ID,
yeah,
then we can assume that any ID lower than the current one, you have already answered the questions for that one, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Yeah. So in that case, I guess you can just go by the questions one, and then just say, give me the next ID that is within the same game. So filter by game, and then just increment the ID within that. I mean, that will give you the next question, but
not in.
But how do you feed it your current state? So I guess you still need to assume that the client has the current question, right?
Yes,
and I think that's reasonable to assume, because the point in time in the application where this endpoint will be called will be right after a user has filled out an actual answer, right?
Exactly.
So at that point in time, you know what is the question, what is the actual answer. So you have the question ID.
Exactly.
And then you can assume that the client will know the question ID. So you can say your endpoint will take a question ID, and then it will return the ID of the next question that's within the same game.
Exactly.
Because if we didn't have that like construct of a game, then it would be easy. Then we wouldn't even have to use the backend. Then we could just say, okay, give me the next ID, right?
But no. Also, we have to check if it's answered correctly or not. If it's not answered correctly,
is that part of this? Is that part of this job right now?
Yeah, it is. I read all of it. Is
okay.
So you have to select statement to retrieve the next question based on the ID of the previous and the fact that was answered correctly. So it's two facts I have to use.
Okay. I think I see that. In that case,
I was trying to make.
Okay, yeah. So I see now. Okay, so actually, this is actually the endpoint to get the answer that you're doing then. So
not to get the answer. To get the question based on the answer.
No, but I think like getting the question is kind of like a side effect to getting the answer to the question. So see it like this: you got to a question, it has shown you the question that you're supposed to answer, right? And your answer opportunities, selection choices, and then you select one, and that answer is then sent to the server. And this is where your endpoint comes into picture. So your endpoint will be, I would probably call that endpoint get correct answer. So we will call get correct answer, and then we will send the answer choice that the user makes. And then that endpoint will validate that answer on the server. Say it's correct, it's not correct. If it is not correct, it will tell you it's not correct. And then
otherwise render the next question.
And in the body, when it comes back, it will also give you the next question. But here's a problem, because if we only have one question for each checkpoint, we will have to send the user to another checkpoint no matter what. They just don't get the point. Or what's the idea here?
I don't know. It's not in my part.
Daniel?
What is it?
So
yeah.
So Daniel, the user answers the question correctly, right?
Yes.
So he gets a new checkpoint. The user answers the question wrong. What happens?
At this point, we have to make it simple, so we just a.
So in that case, I think he gets another checkpoint as well. He gets the same checkpoint. He just doesn't get the point.
No, I would say, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Because otherwise we would have to cycle him through the same post again. But since it's the same question, then that doesn't make sense.
Well, he will waste time, right? If he wants to.
Just one second.
I think we need to send them to the next station in any case. And then it's just a matter of whether they get a point or not.
Yeah, but and this is a question I haven't really figured that out. Will that make the calculations for who won the game harder or simpler?
Yeah, so let's have a look at the data model again, because I'm assuming that getting a point is kind of like what we figure out by the actual answers. Can I see the DB diagram?
I don't know if we have points yet there.
No. So what do we have in actual answers? We have the foreign key to the game, and then the question, and the answer ID. That's like answer choices, right? Yes. So that tells us what answer did he choose on what question in what game. Yeah. So in the end of the game, we just have to calculate how many of these were correct and how many of them were not.
Yeah, and then give the right points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that should be all right.
Okay. So we agree that if he answers incorrectly,
yeah, he's sent to the next checkpoint.
Yeah, or he has to find the next checkpoint.
Yeah, but he's given the same data. He's just told, "Oh, sorry, that was wrong," and then he's sent to the next one. Or yes, that was correct, and then he's still sent to the next one, but he gets a point.
Yeah, it's the same logic, but one gets one screen. You failed. And
exactly.
Yeah. Let's do that.
What's the difference between points and
so here, Zaki, in this case, it's a little bit complex to me.
Okay.
I maybe after the class, I don't want to waste others' time, but maybe I want to ask you in the Slack, how can I start build this together, or give me just
so just to sum up what I tried to say before, what I want you to do is to make a endpoint that's called get correct answer.
Okay.
And that endpoint you will send, of course, your answer to that endpoint, right? And that endpoint will just return in the body. It will have like a boolean, which is like correct or not. If it's correct, then we'll show like a happy message. Yeah, you get a point. If it's not, we will say, oh, sorry, that wasn't right. And then it will also contain an ID to the next question in the row. And that's what we discussed before. The next question will have to be the next ID that's within the same game, right?
Yeah, in the same game instance.
Yeah. So the response from that endpoint will always be the same. It will always be a boolean, and it will always be a next endpoint, next question, right? And it's just like a matter of points then who wins, because the logic, how they go through the game, is actually the same. I think that makes the design of the game a little easier as well, although maybe a little less fun. But we can't really deal with that now. So cool, yeah. But just post me if you still have questions.
What?
Yeah, send me a message if you still have questions.
Yeah. Cool. Who next? Who's next?
Sorry. I just.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've done all the presentation. Okay. No, it's the sound.
I know.
Okay, let me check the. I think we've done all the presentations. Everybody presented right now. Wolfram hasn't.
I just have maybe one question regarding the points.
Yeah, what is the question?
Yes. So can I share my screen? I think I will.
Yes, please. What do you need to present? Let's take this. Yeah, because we don't. Well, it's a little bit. The front page is also important, but without the seats.
Yes. So what I should do here is, from what I understood, I should be able to get the questions based on the game instance ID, right?
Yes.
And in order to do that, I think I need the game instance ID to be a foreign key in the questions table. Is that right?
The questions really, the questions don't belong to the instance. They belong to the factory.
Yes, they do. So it's like when I put the ID of the game instance, I should be able to get the questions. Is that right?
We can say that the parameter is the ID of the game factory.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah, that's correct. It should actually be game factory. I wrote it game instance, but that's wrong.
Oh, okay. In that case, it's clear.
I'll change that right away.
Okay, then it's clear.
It's more logic. It doesn't really matter technically because one will get to the other, but logically it should be the factory. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Then it's clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Should we go through the seats? Should we look at the seats? Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we merge the PR that I did?
Yes. Let's do it. Now I'm going to stop sharing.
Raise your volume. And present. Hello, everyone can hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Cool.
Loud and clear.
So, can you see the screen?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I just did the changes we were talking about, so I added the foreign keys and the finish field to the game instance. Right?
Okay.
Huh? Yeah. I can even drop the schema and show that it works up and down if you want, because that's what I was working on. So you can see, yes? Let's go. So if you want, I can build it and drop it. I think that's the best to do because we have a lot of issues.
Yeah, I was thinking we should talk about the seats, right? Now you're dealing with the foreign keys, but that's because you need the foreign keys to run the seats or what?
I'm not in the game's instance. I think no.
Okay.
But we just add, my thing is like we just add some new tables, I think. What was the last migration? Because I noticed we have new migrations. The game, in the game scores, we don't have 6 for game scores, right? Okay. If I have it here, let's try to run the seats.
Yeah, let's try that.
Get status. Cool. So this is run DB setup. Connects, run the connects. No, I don't put anything in the DB. Let's see if it runs like that, right? And seeds files. And it's here. I know there was people that was having issues with the seeds. I would really like to check what happened with that. Because we shouldn't have any issue. Everything was working, right? You can see questions here. There is 3 tables that are not going to have information, which are actual answers, game scores, and game instance. And this is based on the fact that that is inputs from the user, right? That's why we are not having those seats, because a lot of people ask for them too, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it can make sense on development environment to have some data for that. So it's kind of like some games have been somewhat played. That makes a lot of things easier to test.
Mm-hmm. The seats are working now. So if we need more seats for game scores, game instance, or something,
Yeah,
we can add them in another PR.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do that in a separate PR.
Yes. So everything is working now. At least, as you can see, I have the last version. I can drop it and put it up again if you want, just to prove that it's working. So if someone is having issues with the seats, it can be related to something locally. Done?
Yeah, if you can quickly do that, because I'm having struggles with my database right now. But if I can see it works on yours, then I'm happy to approve it.
So we drop the schema. Clean. I will create a new one here. Sticky. So I'm creating the new one, and I will come here. This should be all the migrations. I'm missing the last migration. Well, I can actually pull that from here. Just give me a second. I'm gonna pull everything on the last versions of everything, so all it's on point, right? Update the branch. And then I will put it here. Cool. Last version of all. Next, migrate, latest. 15 migrations run. And I come here, and you can see it all. In the future, this is going to be 18 migrations because I add a few, right? But now it's this. Right? And next, seed, run. Oh, sorry. Connect, seed, run. And seeds file added. And that's how I can retrieve the information from the. Let's retrieve users. I don't know. Nothing for now. That was something Daniel asked us to have. Questions, maybe? Everything technically is working, right?
Looks good.
I don't know what happened. I saw your issues today, but I'm really not sure what happened.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with your PR. I had the same problem in develop as well. Now I tried reinstalling my database with Docker, and that worked for a while. Now I did it with something else, and that messed it up. But it's something different. It should be related to my system. So it should be good.
Priyanka also had an issue with this, with the databases and the seeds. But maybe we should review the people that is having issues with this. We can review it case by case. Yeah. Okay, so that should be able to emerge.
Cool. And good test just ran. So it should be.
I forgot to do the rollback.
Rollback doesn't matter with seats.
But in the yeah, but with tables it matters because I was
with migration it does. Yeah.
So you got it. Yeah.
I'm merging yours now.
Okie dokie.
Cool. It's done.
Yeah. He merged the seats. Yeah, Saki is on it, right?
Yeah.
And then I added the changes we were talking about, the foreign keys and a new field in game instance that is called finish it. And this is also working too. I can show it now. It's just a second.
Okay.
Status, account, future, and how this was called, modifications. So you can see I have these 3 new ones here. So then I'm gonna do connect, migrate, latest.
I just updated that branch as well because now there's the seats. But
Yeah, you got it right.
But it's only on the remote. It's not on yours yet.
Okay, so I can
You have to pull in order to get that.
Full origin, future, modification. Got it. So then let's.
Yeah, you need
I think
to
I dropped the database and.
Yeah. Probably best to do that.
Best practice. I know, project.
But I actually it shouldn't matter because the seeds are not sensitive to that because they will always delete whatever data you have in all of the tables before they run.
Yeah, but I'm doing this because I added 3 new fields in game instance, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to.
Yeah, but you did do it before you ran the migration before, didn't you? Or maybe you didn't.
Sorry?
Did you delete the database before running the migrations before?
Yeah, that's I deleted and I created new. You don't have any tables now.
Yeah.
So we have 19 migrations now.
Can we check this game scores? I would like to have the database.
Yeah, Jack. Okay.
You know what I mean?
But we got game. I have game scores here. Huh? It was added in another PR, I think.
Yeah, you can check why it is.
But I think what happened with, sorry guys, you far away. John, yeah, Creedy did it, right? Yeah, game scores was done by Creedy and it's already merged.
Why is your PR open?
So I will continue here. We have 19 migrations now with the thingy. Everything is worked. And game instance, you can see that the 4 new fields have been added to the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, sorry. Connect, migrate, roll back. And I was having issues with this one, but I fixed it. So now we should have nothing here. I can run the seeds, right? Latest. Put it up. And then connect, seed, run. Seeds in. So far, with the things we have, everything is working. Right?
Yeah, looks good.
This is good.
Oh yeah, because we don't have any info.
Did you test the down migration as well?
Well, when I do roll back, I thought that was a down migration.
Yeah, that is down migration as well. Yeah. But did you do that after running on putting on the foreign keys?
Yes,
earlier.
Yes, because I was having issues with that, so I had to fix that. But I can do it now if you want.
Yeah. Let me just see it now.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking through your code and I think that looks fine. I just want to see that one's wrong.
I just run it, as you can see here. So if I
cool.
come to the schema, now the tables are gone, except these migrations which were the original.
Okay, that's fine.
So everything that was done with those 2 PRs is done. What happened with game scores? Game timer was merged by Mohammed.
I'm approving this one now.
It is here. I have it, huh? Look.
I don't see anything on the screen.
Huh?
I don't see anything on the screen.
This is game timer, sorry. Oh, I just need to roll the migration up again. Sorry. You know, it's migrate latest. So, game scores is here, and this is what you have. And I was, it was here, right? Wait, here. And game timer was there.
Okay, game timer is there. How about let's finish?
It's here in, I added in game instance, right? It's here.
Can you use that one as well? Okay.
It's a Boolean.
Yeah. Do you want to comment on this? Yeah?
Oh, but what are you adding?
Actually, it's better to work.
But what are we talking about, sorry?
Have an endpoint for the video. Only get the points when you finish the game, right? Or else it's very confusing. So, you have to collect the points of the game. You need that field. That you just, okay, go ahead. Right? Yes, don't you want to read the notes so you remember? This time? Okay.
And this PR, it's ready to be merged. It's what I just did on the future modifications in game instances.
Yeah, can you close the PR that says the link for people to read? Is it closed? Can you go back to the list?
To the list of PRs, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Against force table. What is that? We need that one.
No, we don't, because Greedy created.
This is not needed. Okay,
Okay.
If you can just go. We click on the comment and we need to merge.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. It's all right.
Yes. Can I add? Can we merge the foreign keys and?
Yes, let's go to that one.
Perfect. I just have one approval from Saki. I have one approval from Saki. Can someone just approve one more and then we merge? The first one gets a cookie. Code testing and coding leave is so uncomfortable, right?
And remember that you have to do migration later. Local on your machine, right?
Thank you, Priyanka. No, he just said that remember to do Kinects migrate latest in order to test the things. Just for the record, I will be in charge of updating the databases with all the new fields and stuff. Okay?
Yeah. So you have time to finish?
The foreign keys, yes. And I would like to go back and check. So probably I'm going to build the database. The timer. Timer, foreign keys. The foreign keys were already there. So I think that's it from my side, right?
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
I can't hear you, Daniel, if you're saying anything relevant.
Sorry, he's asking me for game instance?
Yeah, but you haven't solved that one.
The endpoint for, no, because I had to add the finish field in order to establish which one was going on. I resolved all the conflicts, that's what I'm missing. But it's because I just added the new field, right? So
Yes. I was going step by step, but now I will unmute myself first.
Because people are lost at home. They don't know what's happening.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Everyone is
Silence.
8 minutes.
Yeah,
You can stay until
I can stay until tomorrow. I want to finish my class.
Have you talked about the computer for 1 hour?
Yeah. I will take it.
8 minutes.
So it's in my class. It's 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank God that you live in Denmark, right? Or else.
So yeah.
Mine is merged.
But not slower. So Daniel, I need someone with me with this test.
Which test do you have?
There was an issue about the endpoint with the price. Yeah. I need someone to spare the back end.
Just look at the mirror. That's your best partner.
No.
You're so good at selling them.
Really? Otherwise, today on start, I will mention all of it. Give me a hand.
Well, there's always a study group you can take. I'm just saying.
Yeah, even me and Dorhan in the last week.
This can be solved today.
Yeah. In last study group,
Yeah.
me and Dorhan was 20 minutes to figure out. He said, okay, I couldn't. He said, that's what it's
Awesome job. Did you delete the
so if he is
everything?
Yeah.
Top notch.
He is major work.
Yeah, exactly. Issue number.
Rebecca, are you ready to?
Okay.
She's asking something, Magdas.
89.
Yes, Magdas.
Go. Show us.
She's asking something.
Are you ready?
Should I make a pull request? I think I tried to fix it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This
Please present the solution.
I am okay. So this is my code here, and I am importing all the stuff from our storybooks because.
What is your goal?
Wait. Yeah, here.
What do you want to do?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, that's a good position.
Okay, page.
Start page.
Start page.
Let us read.
Yes. So my task is to create this page, home page, and when we open the app, this will be the first page to show, and from here we can choose join game and start game if we want to join, or if we just want to start the game. And from here, 3 icons in the footer, we can go to the separate pages like home and winners and profile. So now here, it is not functioning now, but the design is here, and we can go on the separate pages by clicking on it. But I will create a new PR for that one because some links are missing. Here we went to home, but because that one was capital H.
That was nice.
Yeah. So there is some problem. I will talk with you, Lucha, and we will fix it out. So this is my task. And there is some CSS because me and Gofran, we both did some work with CSS. So something is conflicting, but we will talk and see what is the issue here. And because this app is for mobile and desktops, so I did some responsive CSS. So when we choose some other devices like these, if let's say if I use iPhone, so it will just appear on the full screen. It will not have some spaces here, it will just show on the full screen. And here, yeah, so it appears on the full screen in vertical and in horizontal. Same as iPad, but yeah, there is some.
A quick suggestion here is if you make the icon significantly smaller on mobile, then it will work a lot better in landscape mode.
Okay, I will go.
Because it's the next question.
Well, I guess the layout is the same always, so maybe just make it smaller generally. It's just like in landscape mode, you have to scroll quite far to have an idea what the page is about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't spend a lot of time on that. That's not the most important part.
Okay.
Maybe we should even consider disabling landscape mode.
There's something missing.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not deal with that right now. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Looks good.
Thank you. So that was it.
Okay, thanks.
Daniel, I presented mine.
Did you reach a conclusion about which one's called? Because this is not calling anything.
Yeah, I will make a PR for those changes.
Do you know what to do?
Yes, for join page, I need to select. I will just name the folder here. Join game page here.
Yeah, can you open join game page? Are you running locally right now?
No, I cannot because there is an issue, and I will talk to Lucha about it.
What is the issue?
The other pages we cannot see the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes, I will.
Talk together because that's so interesting. Well, Frank, can you present what you did this week? Can you stop sharing?
Yes.
And can you talk about the background, because Brian had also a question about the background, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Yes. So we all understand.
I'm going to change it. So then we go with this, and then we want here each one lesson. And because when the game stops,
Hi.
then it will make like a
Are you hear me, Zaki?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. So I gonna build this page where show the big game page where we can see the map, so the card of the player. I have problem with this page here. I work in a full page, so when I increase the page, so come for mobile, for any mobile, as here. This home page I work it locally, so I don't know if that correct or not. In this way, this is an example where I did it alone for show how the screen different. But my problem when I want to show the map here, I cannot see the map. And in Storybook is I can see. I show you. Let's take out Storybook. Storybook. So
I'm thinking that maybe we added some styling specific to Storybook for Leaflet. that you need to include?
Yeah, in Storybook I can see the map and I can here. Here, you see, I can see everything. So, but when I go to browser on the page, I cannot see the map.
Okay.
And in my exercise, I change Storybook. I see it when another one work on this Storybook. They don't do they don't work with knobs, so I change everything on those page. This Storybook and this local, this for title. They don't work with knobs. But I yeah.
Well, you know you don't want to use knobs when you make the real stuff. But I mean, in Storybook it doesn't matter. It's an optional thing.
Yes.
Optimistic now.
No, I don't actually see that there should be anything global in Storybook for Leaflet. I think we did that in the past.
Yeah, but my problem is to see here. So I cannot see.
What happens when you open the console?
Yeah, I open the console. We have another issue with another thing. I don't know why. They say string props with another component, not for my component. For example, here, yeah, like this. I don't understand this. They repeat this one.
Yeah, so it's expecting you to give a number and not a string. But let's
I give a number. I give number, not string. So I give a number for everything here.
But now it's not your story. Now it's your actual.
Yeah, I give number for all.
Yeah, so that's why it's requiring a number. Yep. But where are you actually instantiating this component from?
This component take the map. It's not my component, so I take it for my page.
But this component right here now is taking latitude and longitude as props.
Yes.
So this game description must be inside another component when we see it on the page in the real application. So I can see the route is pick game page, right?
Yes.
So where's the component for that?
Open that component from where you copied. In this one.
I have it a little further down. There.
Yeah.
There you can see that latitude is 55 point something. That stuff there is a string.
Ah, okay. So I change it.
Exactly. Yeah. But you need to give it braces, so it's like it's passed in as JavaScript. So you remove the quotes and then use braces instead, curly braces.
Okay. This is a problem. Yeah.
And remove the quoting.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure this is really.
But that's true.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
No, title. I do for title us or is kind. No, now is I want the.
Okay.
Not yet.
No. Okay, but you probably need to go through all of the errors that are in there and address all of them. or as many of them as possible.
We have just two.
Get UI line grid has already been declared. Service funded 400. Okay, I think that 400 there, that's the fave icon. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
The polyfill one, I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think any of those errors are relevant. So it might be something else.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is then. But I mean, push your latest changes to a branch and then post me the branch and I can try to debug it.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yes. Should I close now? And I have another question, please. When we work on the page, we need to work with each page with own CSS or no? Homepage with CSS and the pick game page with own CSS.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends. First of all, I think maybe what you have right there is probably a little bit wrong because the containers should have as little markup as possible. And if they have very little markup, they should also not have any CSS.
Okay.
So I think we have some too much layout creeping into the containers already.
Okay.
But otherwise, I would say generally, if you have styling for a component, you have a style file together with that component in the same folder. But you have a lot. It's pretty normal to have components that don't have any styling at all.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Did you present the
Daniel? Nobody has their audio on at the moment.
Okay, it was like, okay, I couldn't hear him.
Yeah, it's fine now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me, Daniel? Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's okay. I don't know if another guy he want to explain or finish.
Say again, Mohammed.
Everyone, he finished to explain the task.
Yes, I just wanted to confirm with Meglis if she has done anything on her endpoint.
Okay. So I can meet. Yeah, it's okay. I can meet you.
Yes, I just remembered I need to fix something.
But have you made the pull request?
No, I need to fix something first.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, Mohammed, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I will share my screen.
Okay, but Daniel, how long are we going to go on? Because I'm planning on coming in for the graduation.
Yeah, I'm just 5 minutes or 3 minutes or just that, or 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
just 2 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, 3 minutes, Mohammed. And let's.
Yeah, it's okay. I also have some problem with my task, but maybe I can write to Zaki.
Can you share my? Can you see my screen?
I see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Yes.
So that's not here. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So now I want to get the game instance for this. So it's here now, and I made some seats, some effect seats for users, and game scores and game factory, just to test it. And now this is the new game I want to create it.
Why do you have the zeros there?
I'm sorry?
Why do you have the zeros? Are you starting the...
Where? Which one? Here? Here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's here. Just it's coming from the Swagger. Now it's a dummy.
It's just the default in Swagger.
Yeah, default. So the default. Now I want to inside to write, for example, 1 or 2. Here, for example, 2 or 1. Just 1 or 2. No, nothing. 1, for example, and 1 also. So. And the date I can take it from here, so just to be sure the date is correctly, just for a test. Here and it's here. So if I can
delete it.
I'm sorry?
You don't need to delete it. You should put new.
Yeah, no.
No, it's okay. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Just so I can delete it. So just and that. It's okay. So I can show here what's happened behind. So if I execute it, no, okay, no, it's needed. Maybe it's need.
Yeah, you should actually not need neither deleted at, created at, or updated at. So they should be populating themselves in the database. If we set it with like default values in the database,
they should. Right?
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I should delete this also.
Yeah, try to delete the 3 last lines.
Yeah, if I delete it, so no response from here because it's registered in the Swagger. So I need to delete it from the Swagger also.
Yeah.
From it's here because there in Swagger it's required.
Yeah.
Required. So I should delete it from here.
Yeah.
And also delete it from delete.
Yeah, that should probably be in there as optional, but let's just do that now.
Because it's required here, so I was tried to before, but it doesn't work. So maybe now it's working. I will try it. So I will refresh it. No, okay, now it's deleted here. So if I write, for example, 1, just for this one. So now where is the okay?
Mohammed,
yeah, sorry.
When you write FK game underscore ID, where does that come from?
It's come from here. Game from Game Factory.
Yeah. Okay, so but the foreign key is called game scores. Okay, okay, this is the game ID you're talking about.
Yeah, the game ID it's come from Game Factory. Game scores ID came from Game scores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know my question? Do you know why I'm asking you this? Because there's 3 games, right? There's game scores, game instances, and Game Factory. And if you write game ID, you will have to dig into the code to find out which one. When you can just have a more self-explanatory variable name there.
That's true. It should be more better defined.
Yeah, okay, but just sometimes I will check the diagram here. So let's write it here.
But
it's a game ID. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just a minute. I want to ask here. It's game factory ID. It's like here, for example, it's coming from game factory.
Yeah, you can change it later. That's not a deal breaker for now. We just need to see it.
Okay. So now later we want to change this also. Yes, that's what you mean, Daniel?
Yeah. So actually, it's wrong there as well. I noticed that earlier as well.
Okay. So I think it will not work now because it needs some things to change it. Because we delete some fields, so I think it will not work because I tested before. So I tested before with this, so it's included this. It's included from Swagger, but I think now it will not work because we delete something, or maybe I will test it from 2 here, maybe 2 here, maybe 2 here. There are no response now, I think. No response.
You get a 304?
Yeah, because I changed something.
No, but that's on something different. That's on the PNG.
Yes.
Okay.
Open game sense. Okay, maybe I need to change it. I delete this also from here.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. No, it's okay. Is it true? So I go to the game instance, refresh it, so it's come here.
Okay. Cool.
Is that it's okay until now, Daniel? No, he's not.
Okay, but I think it looks good.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry, I'm checking something out.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's here now, Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah. This row. Yeah. This row. It's coming from here.
Yeah. So we just needed to remove the 3 dates.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And Mohammed, please change that game ID to the game. Factory. Yeah.
Factory. Yeah, okay.
It's factory there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Sorry?
Which game? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know which one. Is it the factory or is it the instance?
No, it's a factory. It's because because the word it's the what's that?
Yeah.
But
please change the name there. But it would be nice if you can do a migration to change it in questions as well.
Okay.
Because it's called the same in questions.
Okay.
And that's not quite right. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, so let's end the call now.
Yeah. Jump on my bike, and then if any of you are at the graduation, I'll see you there.
Yes. We'll come down.
See you soon, or see you next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Hi. Mohammed, if you can send us the recordings, that would be awesome.
If I will send what?
The recordings.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I uploaded the first one, the first part I was uploaded, so it was done on the YouTube. So I will finish the second one.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, see you guys.
Yes, you. Thank you.
On Slack. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Daniel?
Nice week.
Daniel?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you here? Okay. I have a question regarding the thing that you asked me, sending the error.
Assume I need a break.